All right, it is 2 o'clock, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to today's session of Tuesday at 2. My name is Adam, and I will be your host. Before we get started, we have a few housekeeping items. You've heard me say these before, so I apologize for that. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available on the Coaches Only Facebook group page and the resource library. I promised last week that we'd have a place where we can go be able to see previous versions of the Tuesday at 2. That is now available on the resource library, which is today's training, and we'll go over that shortly. An additional housekeeping item, if you have any questions during this webinar, please submit your questions in the Q&A widget, and I'll respond to them at the end of this presentation. Announcements, really we have two. First one, let me exit out of this so I can show our visual. We have the January 2020 promotion continuing until the end of the month. You are able to sell the coaching portal for $69.99. That's each month, so this is a subscription. That's normally priced at $99.99, so you're looking at, what is that, a $30 discount. So recommend going ahead and jumping on that. Make sure you're sharing the coaching portal and nutrition factors with as many coaches as possible. In addition to that, client access, we are selling individual client memberships for $7.99. That subscription has been marked down by $2. With this one, you do have the option to be able to sell it at the $7.99 or the $9.99 if you'd like to receive an additional, few, what is that? It'd be $2.50, so a quarter or two of extra, affiliate commissions each month. So that is the main announcement. Also, I just want to point out that I will be reaching out to each coach individually within the next week, just to have a one-on-one conversation and go over your 2020 goals. So expect a call or an email from me to be able to set up that call going forward. And then last thing, before we get started with the resource library training, weekly coach challenge, which we do week to week. We're actually going to maintain the same one that we did last week. No new coaches training. We just want you to focus on getting new clients and new coaches. So sharing nutrition factors, with your clients, making sure they're signed up, for that monthly subscription, and then introducing the coaching portal to colleagues and different coaches along the way. We just want to take advantage of just January New Year resolutions. Make sure that you're really focusing hard on driving new prospects for your coaching business. Okay, with that said, we will go ahead and jump into the resource library. Okay, I imagine the majority of you have seen this page before. Over the last week, I've gone in and updated it, and so you'll see that it appears a little bit differently than before. You've got some videos. I've added images to each of the, whether it's marketing materials or, different forms. So it's just visually, it's a little bit easier to navigate as opposed to text and hyperlinks, and, just titles that you're not quite sure, what they mean. So let's go ahead and go through this. So at the very top, I mentioned it before, but we have a video section on our Tuesdays at 2 sessions. So you can see all of them here. You can see last week's January 7th. All you have to do is push play and you'll see that that'll start. I actually don't know if you can hear the video or the audio or not. I can hear it in my headphones, but you can watch it here if you want to watch it in full screen. You just double click and it'll go full screen. If you want to switch between different sessions, there's two ways to do it. One is on this main screen. You can just kind of go back and forth between all of them, or you can just scroll through them here. You can see that they go back. There's still a few more that I need to add on there, but we go all the way back to November 12th at this point with more to come. Okay, so what I like about these Tuesday at 2s is everything that's presented on here is up to date as of the day of that presentation. So you can see December 17th, we went over the 7-day grid meal planner. That was just a few weeks ago, where at the very bottom, we have trainings as well that are very beneficial and very well done. It just, things get tweaked here and there, whether it's upgrades in the software or pricing changes, things that change just naturally over time. So I recommend, staying up to tune on all Tuesday at 2s, just because it is up-to-date information. Okay. Next section, we went over this last week and have alluded to it a few times before, but you have the Getting Started guide, which is our 100-page guide for all coaches. Getting Started guide may be the wrong word for it, because I do believe that it's for more than just new coaches, but it's here ready for download. To download it, all you do is you tap on it and it'll pop up. In my browser, it shows up like this. So I'm in Chrome right now. I'm actually in incognito in Chrome. But if I want to download it, I just hit the download button, and it'll, download for me, directly to my laptop, or I can view it in the Chrome browser. You can see here, I personally, how I like to view the Getting Started guide is I like to see 2 pages back to back, just because it was designed that way. This picture right here, connects with this picture. And so I really like, opening it up in Acrobat Reader. That way I can get both images side by side, just as you're reading a book. But this is still a great way to do it. You're able to go through and just kind of scan through it. So that's the Getting Started guide. Some marketing materials. These have been released, previously. I've added updated versions of each one of them that you can reference. So we have everything from, client membership. If I was, sharing nutrition factors or, some of our products with a client for the very first time, here's a slide deck that you're able to present to them. Here's one on the coaching portal. Your audience is prospecting coaches. So if I have somebody that I want to, introduce to on a coach level, I'd just go ahead, download this, and I can email it to them. I can share them. One thing that I want you to know on all of these, we have an updated or date last updated here at the bottom right corner. This one was last updated on January 9th, 2020. I'd recommend occasionally looping back around to the resource library just to make sure that you have the most correct version. Janet mentioned to me before that there was a few typos in each of these that I need to go back through and correct. And so here, when I release the next version, you'll see, say January 14th or 15th or, whatever the date that I'm able to go in and update these. So just make sure you have the most recent version of each one of these marketing materials. So that is for the coaches. And you can just see here, it just kind of gives a general overview of what is nutrition factors. That way a new prospecting coach can quickly get a good feel of what we do, what we're all about. Some of the next ones that we have marketing decks for, really this is our business portal. This one's specific to gyms and fitness facilities, just because it's, a little bit different on the marketing, vocabulary, the pitch that we have to give. So this one is for gym and facilities. We'll get others out, more specific to say spas or, different companies that we may be partnering with. But right now we have one available for gym and facilities for our business portals. Next one, the wellness, employee wellness program. Say you're approaching a business, local business, and you want some material to share with them. We have a guide or a slide deck specific to employee wellness. And then the last one is we just have a pricing guide. Audiences for members and businesses. So this we went over a few weeks ago, but you can see here as you go through it, we have pricing for, here's the coach, the $99 monthly subscription fee, and then what it normally costs a client to sign up, which just another plug, we do have the promotion, the January promotion happening right now, which takes us down to $69.99 and $7.99 for client access. Okay. But we go through pricing on the employee wellness program and then the business portal. Okay. Next thing, we'll go into this section. So start in your coaching business. The team has done a great job of really creating lots of assets to help you really get your business up and going. So more so than just coaching, we want to make sure that you legally have your business set up correctly. So you can see here that there's a few forms and documents here from everywhere from explaining your role as a health coach, defining your business, helping you to define it, setting up your business, We can click on this real quick just to give a quick thing. So it just, helps you as far as your business name, address, entity, tax ID numbers, business license, so on and so forth. So there's some good help there. Coach client agreement. We have a templated version of a coach client agreement. As you really start working with people, we recommend having a client agreement, one, to protect yourself, define the relationship. But this is here for your use. And then let's see here. I think I need to correct this. This looks like it's a liability insurance form, which we recommend, and the telehealth and your practice. So I'll get that text upgraded. They're updated, but you can see here that there's a number of forms connected to starting your business. Coaching forms for your coaching business. So, once you get past the initial stages of setting up your business and get into coaching, we have forms that you can use here. What's nice about how it's now set up is you can just glance really quickly at what some of these forms look like. You can see here that these ones have some more graphics attached to them. So this is measurement charts. So as you're doing an initial health assessment, you're able to just kind of keep track. So you do that health assessment, and I'll click on it so we can see it. So this is for a male. Of course, our graphic goes from a bigger guy to a more lean, fit guy. But you can see here you're able to measure the chest, the right arm, left arm, waist, hips. Really just get that information recorded so you can see progress as you move forward. Okay. Close that one. There's a female one as well, but let's see here. You have food likes and dislikes. This is great, especially when it comes to meal planning. It helps you understand, what likes or what foods they like and don't like. It helps you to personalize the experience for each of your clients. I mean, ideally, we want you teaching the clients how to use it, but this at least gives you a good feel on how to identify what they like. That way you can work with them and avoid foods that they may not like, or even allergies. So that way when you recommend certain recipes or meals, you're able to work through that. Begin your journey. Go ahead and jump into this one real quick. So it just kind of gives you, as you're having those initial conversations with a client, gives you some talking room, gives you a worksheet to complete. Statistics, I'll let you go ahead and read that. Choices, thoughts, and attitudes. Goals, there's a handful of these coaching forms that are very beneficial that you can use. Just feel free to click on them, save them to your desktop, or print them off. That way you can use them on the fly. Down here we've got our factors tracker, and then a wellness questionnaire. Go ahead and click the wellness questionnaire. So it allows you to collect some of their contact information, and then readiness to change, medication and supplement history. And this to me is something that needs to be used in the initial health wellness or the health assessment. That way, we can take advantage, or at least have everything recorded in a nice outlined document. Okay. So last two sections that we have here are the coach training videos. We had Elise, and I believe there may be a few other voices on these. The very first section is the coach training videos. So you simply, similar to the two videos up at the top, you just hit play and you're able to watch this one. This one's on setting up your coaching profile. We've got a Tuesday I 2 on this a few weeks ago. As I mentioned, I'd probably lean more towards the most recent ones. At the same time, this is a very solid training that I'd recommend. When I was doing the training on the Getting Started guide, I think some people really like to see it outlined in paper format. That way they can follow step by step. Me personally, I recommend going and using these videos just because, I can get through it in a few minutes, as opposed to, it may take me a little bit longer to read all the instructions on a paper. So we do have videos that you can use at your disposal. These top ones are for coaches. These bottom ones are for member training videos. Even though it says member training, I recommend using these for you yourself as a coach, just because you do need to know how to use the platform. This will take you through everything from, how to use the 7-day grid meal planner, how to add recipes, how to create new recipes. Let's see here, my recipe grid, set up my grid overview, fill in, create a grid. I mean, there's just a handful of them. You can see here to use a preset grid menu. membership options. So there's a handful of training videos. Recommend using this resource page to, your advantage. I mean, really, I think, especially for new coaches, some of our more experienced coaches may be more familiar with the platform and feel comfortable in it. But for me, especially if I was just getting started, I would spend quite a bit of time on this landing page, just because there's so much good information, whether it's the videos. I mean, there's probably who knows how many hours worth of videos that you can use as a resource, just, as you go about your daily job, your daily life. You listen to a few, have them on in the background, or if you're trying to learn a specific skill, come here to pick that up. And then, the Getting Started Guide, that's a great resource, brand new, or at least fairly new, that we're excited to have in your hands. And then all these marketing materials as you need, as you go to approach businesses or employee wellness programs. Here's some setup slides that you can use. If you need something a little bit more customized, just reach out to us, and we can use these as a base, and then create others that are a little bit more, specific. If say it's a bigger potential client or whatever the case may be, feel free to reach out to me. With that said, that is today's training. We're going to keep it a little bit shorter than normal, but just the resource library, partners.nutritionfactors.com/resource-library. And it's there. It's always available. With that said, I'll go ahead and jump into our questions. It currently looks like there are none. I'll leave that open just for a little bit while we just kind of close. Just one more time, we'll go over just kind of announcements that we had early on in case you missed them. The very first one is the January 2020 promotion. Make sure you take advantage of the new coaching portal price for the month and how much clients cost for the month. And then just that I'll be reaching out to each coach individually throughout the next week. With that said, I think we are good to go. So thank you very much for your time, and we will catch you next time. Take care.